Jordan Pepper, and we're spending 5 good minutes, even though I think it's going to be more like 35 good minutes, with Mr. Tynell Tate. I'm not even going to bother giving him a title. I will just say Uber God of the UBA in terms of programs, scheduling, and everything else. So, first of all, Tynell, welcome aboard, sir.
Thank you. Welcome. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing good. Thanks for appearing. The question more becomes, how are you doing? How's the family? How's the kidlets?
I'm doing great. I'm doing good. I'm just blessed to be able to work from home. Just staying safe, following the rules. Not doing nothing crazy. I would like to live normal again, but we need the help from our civilians. Play their part, and gradually we should hopefully we get back to normal.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that aren't playing that part. We'll get to that momentarily. But there's been a lot of news going around, a lot of missives. Obviously, everything is on the UBA Today website. But let's chat and let's go chronologically. Let's start with the opt-out list. You saw a bunch of names on there. Surprises, not surprises?
I saw a few surprises. A lot of this year to opt out. A lot of bowlers not really familiar with. To be honest, the way it looks is that we did have a few, about 6 or 7 new teams form, and every year it's the same. People opt into these new teams. They recruit from other teams also, so it's a combination, and then it just create these new teams. I do think a lot of bowlers, members that opted out, and I'm not too familiar with the names, were probably bowlers who really, I would say, didn't really get introduced to the UBA properly by their team. I didn't really see them in any events. They might have joined the team and then, didn't get the bowl. Or I saw in a few cases that members joined teams, or they agreed to join teams and they didn't get their jersey. Or, just a lot of, personal stuff, I guess, within the teams, and people just felt they need to move on. It's like that every year. We average, over 100 opt-outs per year, so it's pretty much the same. But yeah, I did see some surprises. And it's going to be interesting to see, those surprises transition into their new teams.
Yeah, one of the things I've noticed, and it's a strategy that some teams do, whether it's to put up a front or not, a lot of teams let go or let people release or be transferred before the opt-out period starts, so that their names and the number of people that are on there aren't on the list. I'm not going to ask you to name names or name teams, but I will ask, was there a lot of that this year? How much of that happened this year?
That happens all the time too. There's a lot of teams, a lot of owners and presidents who they don't want the list to have so many players on a team get listed. So, the list goes to the whole organization, on the website, and everyone views the website, and the opt-out names are listed in order, alphabetically ordered by team. So it's easy to find a team, and if you see the name just scroll all the way down, you can obviously notice that a lot of bowlers done been opted out from that team.
Mm-hmm.
But before the opt out, a lot of people, a lot of presidents or owners, they don't. I don't see why they have anything to be concerned about. Everyone's going to talk. 1, 2, people are going to find out anyway. That they lost a bunch of people. I guess they just don't want to see it in black and white. I don't know, but it's going to happen. I don't know why they just start releasing before opt out. Then you got some people who are lazy, who probably don't want to fill out the form, and they just ask their president or team rep, can you release me? I'm opting out, blah blah blah. You got some who get released, and you got the others say, "Oh no, go on the website by yourself. You got to do it. If you want to leave, you do it yourself." So we got a few of those too. So, but yeah, it happens every year. Same deal. Different teams, same situations. That's all.
All right. Well, correction, not naming names here. Every year we always talk about that one person that jumps from team to team to team to team to team. There's at least one name that I saw there that I went, oh, they're going to another team. Did you look and did you see that? Has there been anybody, and again, don't name names, but is there anybody that you saw that you're just sort of like, oh, they're leaving again?
Yeah, there were quite a few names. Yeah, it was quite a few. A few of them, it's something that you can expect.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them you don't. I guess you can expect it because you see their names like every year or every other year. But I should say that it's for good reasoning,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a reason that's understandable. Some of them, it's like, all right, they just just want to try something new, or just and I mean, everyone says that. I hear a lot of people say that. Damn, it's the member. The member. Something wrong with the member if they keep bouncing from team to team to team. But I mean, some members, it could be an investment, or it could just be that a lot of people. I see a lot of people get on a team and they just don't connect. So I guess they're just trying to find that right fit, to fit onto a team. I mean, people jump on teams and there might be a few bowlers on that team that are kind of iffy about the bowler, and throughout the season, midway or full season, they don't get along, and it's either you got the veteran bowlers who may not feel comfortable with the new bowler, and that bowler end up opting out. So I know on my team, if anyone wants to join my team, we usually put a post up on our group page, that's you let everybody know this person wants to join our team, like yay or nay, let us, if anybody has any problems or issues, and I mean we'll make a few jokes about it here and there, but I mean 9 times out of 10, anyone wants to join our team, we, if they feel that they're a good fit to our team, we just we'll welcome them aboard,
Mm-hmm. No, I understand that. So I'm going to talk more about that in future times about the opt-out list, winners, losers, etc. But there's so much news that we need to discuss, so we're going to move on here. Next thing that I want to chat about, Battle Bowl.
Okay.
Official stuff came out. The events came out.
Battle Bowl, the event schedule was published on July 1st. It's I mean, with what's going on with this pandemic, it was really tough to there was just obvious events that we know we can have, and then we just had to scramble to just try to figure out what other events can we kind of throw up in there to just to fill up the schedule. We did eliminate one house. We're only going to have it at one house this year. We felt that, with what's going on with COVID-19 and things are spreading, we felt like there was too much activity, too much back and forth between houses, having these bowlers, all day doing all this moving around, so we're just going to try to focus on one center this year. We eliminated a day. Also, we usually start on Thursday, but we're just going to start on Friday. It's going to be pretty much just a weekend series of events. Nothing special before Battle Bowl, like really actually begins, except I'm going to be that Thursday night, I'm gonna be hosting an event that I've ran for the past 8 years. It's a lefty righty doubles tournament. It's kind of like um, backup lefties. It's just basically from the left side of the lane and right side of the lane. Backup righties is considered lefties. And vice versa. Backup lefties are considered righties, and you just got to go with the opposite. So, so we're gonna throw that that Thursday night before Battle Bowl. Because usually there's some out of towners attending Battle Bowl, or even the local members who want to just do something to kind of prep themselves, get a feel of the lanes, because there's going to be a house shot, and before Battle Bowl actually begins. So, for the ones who's going to be in the area Thursday night to get ready for Battle Bowl weekend, there's something for them to bowl on Thursday night, starting at 8:00. And it's just a doubles event, 5 games. Excuse me. I usually move pairs for this event, but like I said, trying to keep everyone in one place, so we're not gonna we don't want everyone spreading out and moving, and then the whole night drag. We're just gonna have five straight games on the same pair, handicap event, and just something simple, So being that with what's going on, we gotta make a lot of tweaks with some of the events that I see a lot of people are trying to run. You have to make a lot of tweaks in terms of moving pairs, or their entry count, or how they're going to handle entries and money and stuff like that, and crowds. So it's an adjustment that we got to get used to. Hopefully, we're a month and a half away from Battle Bowl, so we're just keeping our fingers crossed and keeping updated every day or every week on any updates from the Delaware governor, to where we may have to make some changes to the Battle Bowl schedule. But as of now, the schedule is out. The prepaid tabs are scheduled to go live on July 14th, which is the second Tuesday of July, which is next Tuesday. The Tuesday after. So July 14th, another 10 days. That is as well. That's to be determined if there's going to be a change. So prepaid tabs may change based on the information that the daily information we get from the center manager, Jeff Benson. He's been keeping me in contact with, if there's any changes they're making to their rules and regulations as far as spectators, every other lane bowling. As of now, the schedule is set for us to have a regular event where we're going to do student on normal alternating. We just set out a schedule, and if we just have to make any tweaks, we just have to make tweaks. So hopefully we can have something set in stone before the tabs open. That is 10 days. So like I said, the tabs, based on the information we get from Delaware, the tabs may be pushed to the following week as far as opening, but we don't want to make it too close to the date, because, members may not, they may feel it's too last minute. But I don't know. I see a lot of people, they're up and ready. They get ready to bowl. They want to bowl. They want to get back on the lanes. Unfortunately, Battle Bowl is not going to be Battle Bowl this year. We're going to make the best of it. If we don't have any spectators, if no spectators are allowed, the atmosphere is definitely obviously going to be different. Battle Bowl is pretty much built off of, a lot of in your face and trash talking, and with the spectators, watching everyone bowl and betting and, just talking trash to each other. But if it's decided that we're not going to have any spectators, then it's not going to be the same. So therefore, we're just going to still do our best to host an event and just have something for people to bowl. just to set everybody up to get ready for their winter leagues. If their winter league usually start around end of August, early September. So, we're just gonna give people something to bowl, and like I said, we're just gonna play things by ear. Hopefully, we'll be able to, monitor the social distancing, kind of make it work. If we don't have spectators, I mean, it'll be much easier. Like I said, it's still scheduled. We're gonna do our best with updates. I'm hoping we don't have to cancel. I'm hoping everything, gets back to normal. So I'm just hoping to see. That's we're getting updates every day. So that we're just gonna see what happens.
One of the things you've been hearing it from Phil Murphy is that, and this is going to affect me majorly, is that if you're out in certain states and you come back, you got to quarantine yourself for 14 days. I'm off to Vegas next week on business, and I'm going to get stuck 14 days in my apartment once I come back, care of Phil Murphy. Two of those states that are on that list are North Carolina and South Carolina. Now, we're hoping, obviously, that all this goes away come the end of August, and we're hoping that, and you and I both know Phase 3 in Delaware was supposed to happen. It hasn't happened yet. Hopefully it will. So my question becomes, and it's a little bit different than Mega Bowl, because Mega Bowl, this was just starting, and nobody really knew anything about it. They just knew that there was a virus running around. Now that people know it, or they think they know it, combined with the fact that other states, such as the aforementioned Southwest states, some of their stuff has been brought back and reclosed because people have been running around without a mask.
Right.
And if you've seen certain broadcasts of people bowling with spectators, you've seen the spectators also aren't wearing masks. So how is the UBA going to handle that come the end of August? And unfortunately, it's a question that I need to ask because I'm sure a lot of people are going to have that same question.
Well, I mean, like I said earlier, the easy part would be to just, if there isn't no spectators, it's going to be easier to monitor the bowlers and just make sure they're being safe and practicing their distancing as much as possible. I know the 6 feet in the settee area. If you're gonna have like 6 or 8 bowlers to a pair, I kind of see that being tough to just practice distancing. But if you can't, always keep the mask on. Like for now, we're gonna just have it as a requirement to for everyone's safety to just have the mask on. I know they do allow people to bowl without the mask, but if you're gonna be just standing in the settee area or on the promenade, on the concourse, just gonna have everyone have their mask on. Let them know that they have to have it on. I mean, it's like I said, it's a safety thing. I would want everyone to just play things safe and just wear the mask.
I can't wait for the UBA video to come out with people trash talking wearing masks, by the way. You're going to be hearing the voices. You're just not going to know which person said anything.
Yeah. So I mean, with Battle Bowl, I mean, we're planning on speaking to the commissioner. We're gonna kind of get the word out there soon, as far as after we speak with the bowling center, as far as the spectators go. Right now, they still have the no spectator clause. They're just allowing bowlers in. They're doing it in sections. I believe they're doing the 2-hour intervals for people bowling. They got the one entrance and one exit. So they're pretty strict on their rules, and they're following them. And we got members that are bowlers that are following them as well. And we just hope that just gets carried on to when Battle Bowl begins. We're actually the Rodman for the Eastern Rodman is scheduled to be July 24th to the 6th, I believe, that last weekend in July. And kind of getting want to kind of get an idea of how they're going to really host their tournament. Like, what are they going to practice? Are they going to have any specific, COVID-19 guidelines that they're going to, set for their bowlers? I mean, obviously they're just going to have to go by some of the house rules, but, I'm curious to see what they have, like if they're having anything specifics that the bowlers need to not do. So I mean that would be interesting. So I'm kind of actually glad the Rodman is before Battle Bowl, so we can pretty much trying to get an idea. I did reach out to Tim Pearson. I emailed him, just kind of meet, kind of greet myself for who I am. I know he's a director as well, so kind of want to get together with some of these directors that are running these local tournaments, Eric Nix and Greg, yourself, it's kind of want to get together, LaRue, and see we can discuss this together and everyone can feed off each other, and then we could just have successful and safety events still going on and give people something to bowl.
Yeah, but by the time it's aired, I myself will run at least one tournament during this time period. I know LaRue is planning on running one. I don't have the exact details on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how we all deal with this right now in this sort of environment. Right now, let's chat a little bit about the UBA preseason, which I think is a great idea. But if you can say a little bit more about it, because I know not everybody knows about it or is aware of all of it.
Okay, so our initial decision about the regular season was to have it start in January, the second week of January. That's our plan right now. That's our goal. We're not starting the season tour anytime before that. It's definitely starting in January. We still do plan. Now, this is a plan. We still do plan to have 13 stops. Even though it's a 6-month gap, we just plan to fit those 13 stops in those 6 months. Obviously, we'll have 5 of those months we can have 2 stops, and then the other month, one month out of the 6, we could do 3 stops. One of the stops would be back to back, obviously, or if we can find a 5 weekend month. I believe January is 5 weekends, but if we start the second week of January, we'll have to double up. I can't remember what other month is 5 weekends, but I mean, we can do it every other week.
There's at least 2 now.
I think May too.
Oh my God, doubling up. You have to remember that at least even in this past schedule, if this is going to be a normal schedule, May and June, at least my district would have doubled up in both May and June, and most of them are. So the doubling up in a month, that's not a completely crazy concept because UBA's done it before.
Well, let me rephrase that. I didn't mean really double up. I meant like having back-to-back stops on the consecutive weekends. That's probably going to likely happen, just so we can get in our 13 stops for that 6-month span.
Well, let me ask you something. Let me qualify something. If you're saying back-to-back, do you mean one on Saturday and one on Sunday, or do you mean 2 on Saturday?
Back-to-back weekends.
Gotcha. Okay.
Back-to-back weekends. I wouldn't. The toughest thing is to have a Saturday and Sunday, because we got to verify all the scores and update the database with the averages, and people may need to strategize with their lineups. Somebody might hit 9 games and their average might be 20-30 pins higher, and they got to sit. Just stuff like that. So a week's time, is probably pretty good, especially if the schedule's out and these presidents or owners know that they got a tour stop the following week. I mean, they can well prepare, and we'll just make sure we have those stats and everything up by Monday, Tuesday the latest, if it is a Sunday tour stop, and then they got another tour stop the following weekend. So,
and that's
I believe.
it's also something you've done before.
What's that?
It is definitely something UB has done before, because I remember going weekend back to back in terms of doing bracket running and title matches. So yes.
Well, usually, I mean, for the past, years, 6-7 years, we've been doing full schedules. April, May, and June has always been 2 tour stops a month. It's we always have to have. I mean, we only bowl for 10 months, and we have 13 stops. So it's obvious that 3 of those months got to have 2. So we can fill the 13 stops. So it's usually towards the end of the season, April, May, and June. If we have to throw some in there, 2 stops in a month in January and February, it all depends on the scheduling with the houses and everything. So myself, Mal, and Charlene's been pretty good with spacing things out, with the scheduling. So, but as far as the preseason go, we basically, myself and many people from the the executive board and some of the administrators, we've actually spoke about doing a preseason, because we do know that a change is possible with these centers. They might have specific rules about the capacity of the bowlers in a building at one time. So we want to just hold a preseason, possibly with a different format. And we really need help from the centers to really let us know, like, if they have any specific guidelines. And we might have some of the smaller houses that their capacity is much lower than your regular house. We might not be able to have 81 people in a house at one time. 12-team districts has 108 people. A 10-team district has 90 people. We might not be able to have those people in the building at one time. So we did discuss dropping the format to 6 bowlers.
Right.
We'll probably do 3 scratch and 3 handicap. So we're gonna try to test this in a preseason, and we're trying to launch the preseason maybe October. Since Battle Bowl is the end of August,
right?
We're just gonna use a whole month of September to really start trying to plan this out to see. And the preseason is not going to be guaranteed to bowl in for these teams. It will be. The only difference is it's only going to be like maybe twice a month. We're probably going to do 6 stops. We'll do 2 in October, 2 November, 2 December, just to get a feel of how, if it's going to be a good adjustment or not. Following the center's guidelines. So we want to make an adjustment towards that. If the centers are okay and we can get back to normal as far as, bowling wise, like regularly, we can just go back to 9 versus 9 like it is now when the season starts in January. So
I'm glad that, because there was a lot of people after originally reading what was posted as Screen Bloody Murder, I'm not going to mention names, I'm sure you know some of them, that went, oh no, they're going to get rid of all the handicap bowlers. It's a conspiracy.
Yeah,
you know exactly what I'm talking about. I see the Tynell smirk up there, so I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, I mean, people just got to read, man. I mean,
reading's hard.
It's tough. But I mean, like I said, we're just talking about this. Nothing is set in stone. I mean, nothing's official. We're just coming up with ideas. We need to, if these centers are going to be open for us, and we're going to be able to set up tour stops, we want to do it and still be safe and meet the requirements and the guidelines set by these centers.
So let's talk a little bit about some of the centers, because I know you're in New York.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody knows that. And the other thing that everybody knows painfully, right now, most of, if not all of the bowling alleys in New York are closed
Yes.
at this point.
At this point, yeah, they closed. I believe July 8th was the date, the reopen date, and I've just been told that I think that got paused, so that got held up. So I don't think these houses are going to open July 8th. I got to get a little more information and do my research, because this is something that, excuse me, this is something that I'm going to have to monitor carefully with different states. I mean, we have tour stops in like 7 to 8 different states. So it's gonna be tough, but I'm gonna have help and get these updates. And I just stay alert, make sure I jot down my notes, what's what. I mean, really wanna have the season done the same way, every state being done the same way. We don't want to have one state do one thing, another state. It's really should be everyone should really be doing the same thing. Following the same format, same point system. So
Yeah,
like I said,
you may get caught in a situation where you're stuck to do 6 in New York and you can do 9 everywhere else, for argument's sake.
yeah, New York, and New Jersey, two worst states right now. I mean,
yeah,
New Jersey is better than New York, but they're still bad. I mean,
New Jersey is still like 25% capacity.
Right, they stay open, the 25% capacity. New York's numbers are not that great for them to even, consider. I guess they consider opening, but at the same time they're making the decision to try to open these houses, there's things going on around the city, around the state, that's going to put that on hold. They're gonna, it's just gonna mess it up for everybody.
All right, let me for 1 second, and you and I talk like is there a possibility that some of the New York houses or the teams in New York houses would play in Connecticut, for argument's sake, if Connecticut is completely full and open and they've got 100% capacity?
Will the New York teams, you said, be interested?
Well, no. I mean, with the UBA, let's just say that September rolls around, New York is still closed. Would there be something that the UBA would consider to have New York's preseason, if they wanted to participate, be up in Connecticut or even in Jersey if both those states have complete capacity at that point? Because based on where Jersey is going, if the phases are good, I believe Jersey would have 100% capacity by the time October rolls around, and Connecticut right now does.
Right. It's like I said, I'll have to talk to Phil and Tom and Steve about that. We'll just have another discussion. It's a good question. I wouldn't shut it down. If it's something that the bowlers want to do, and I can put something together for them to bowl in Connecticut, or if I can even do a mix and match schedule and have them bowl against some of the Connecticut teams, and we make it a New York. We used to have a New York Connecticut district.
I remember that.
So we're familiar with Connecticut's familiar with New York. New York's familiar with Connecticut.
I remember brothers having to go up to Connecticut for a couple of matches. So yeah. We went up to a Pound for Pound's house once upon a time.
Yeah, Milford Lanes. Yeah, wow.
That was the place.
And like I said, I can even set something up where, and also just to clarify, as far as the preseason, like I said earlier, the preseason is not mandatory for every team. We would like every team to participate. It's not mandatory, but there will be a prize fund, the same as the regular tour. There will be a prize fund for each district. It's like a season tour prize fund. So side action prize fund. So we're just going to regularly do things normally, but just with a different tweak, just to just kind of see where we're going to be at in the future as far as format goes. And, hopefully, I mean, if we do have to go to a 6-on-6 format, hopefully for the, 2011, 2021-22 season, we can go back to 9 versus 9, just playing things by ear. So like I said, preseason is there's going to be a prize fund. We are going to do, a little voting, whatever. It's only going to be like 6, maybe 7 stops. I throw a position round in there or something. But I think New York can. I don't think that mind, especially the Bronx teams. I mean, they're about 45 minutes to an hour away anyway from the front part of Connecticut. Where Nutmeg is and
Right.
Milford, area Circle. It's not too far, so. I mean,
plus they pay there instead of going to Jersey where they pay more.
You mean from the Bronx to New Jersey?
Yep.
Yeah, Connecticut's probably a smoother ride, smoother ride as well. So, I mean, and then with Long Island, I mean, I don't know what Long Island's gonna do. I mean, there's a lot of Long Islanders that that will, I believe, travel to Jersey. I mean, we got a lot of New Yorkers that bowl in Jersey leagues, so they're gonna go out there maybe twice a month, October, November, December. It's and they bowl in leagues out there. They got to go every week to leagues. I mean, once or twice a month is not. I don't feel it's gonna be a big deal, but it's up to them. If they want to bowl, they'll do it.
I have leagues in both Sheridan and Woodmere. It's not terrible. I mean, everybody says Long Island is so far. It's not Guam. It's less than an hour away drive, assuming there's no traffic. It's not bad.
And I mean, everyone's having this urge to bowl, man. So
that's true.
I think by having that itch, it might make things work. It's the travel portion too. People got to travel a little further. The only thing, the side action, and a lot of these teams they bowl for side action and stuff. So if we're gonna drop the format to 6 versus 6 in a standard 12-team district, you're losing 36 bowlers. So that take a big hit. The prize fund, side action, et cetera, et cetera. It takes a hit, but this is what we can do. This is what the houses are giving us. We have no choice. We putting out a product. We're putting out something for you to bowl, and just gonna run with it and see what happens.
To be fair, as someone who's side action, it really doesn't. In my point, yes, the numbers may take a hit, but it really just depends on who bowls. If you have, and let's just say for argument's sake that you have the 6 versus 6 matchup, and you have now a 12 teams, so now you have 144 bowlers or whatever you have, not to be much less than that. 72, right. Thank you, brain. If you have 72 bowlers out there, if you still have 72 bowlers that want to hit the all-in button for everything, you're still going to have some nice pots.
Yeah, I mean,
that are out there, and it won't really affect the scratch action anyway because you're wiping out a third of the handicap and not a third of the scratch.
Right.
And I think most of the action is on the scratch side.
Right. Now the thing is, if you would have scratched out anything scratch, then it would force the handicap bowlers. Well, we're losing 3 handicaps, so
right.
I mean, yeah, the scratch action won't change, but
it depends a little bit, but not as. I don't think it will be as drastic as people think that it will be.
Yeah, but then you got the teams. Then you got the teams that put some of the scratch bowlers on the handicap pairs.
That's true.
I know a lot of teams strategize by throwing a scratch bowler on each of the handicap pairs to try to pick up their handicap bowlers. I know a lot of teams try to use that as strategy. So the teams that do well with that, they show up to a tour stop with at least 5 of their scratch bowlers, which if you want to say scratch, I would say, 220 to 225 and up.
Right.
You know, I've seen. Yeah, I know a lot of teams who throw 230 bowlers on their handicap pairs. You know,
Well, sure.
and it works. It works out for them.
70% of 250 in terms of the handicap belies that you should be able to do it.
Yeah.
70% definitely favors the scratch bowl over the handicap bowler.
Yeah, correct. So, but yeah, I just think that these bowlers now they got that itch to bowl. We just put something together that would make sense. I mean, you got it's 50-50. People out there just do anything. You know, some people just want to bowl. They put their money up. They want to bowl. Then the other 50%, they'll be really kind of analyzing and figuring out the format if it's worth it. But listen, our job is to just put something out there. To make the best of it. Of what we're given. And that's it.
No, I hear you and understand. I know that we've been chatting a lot, and you're saying your 40 minutes is almost up. So let's go to Tynell time here. Is there anything that I missed, anything you want to mention? You want to chat more about the Lefty Righty tournament? The floor is yours.
Well, the Lefty Righty tournament is basically, I have about 80 teams right now. So it wasn't no shock to get that many teams because everyone having the itch to bowl. But I have been running that event for, the last 8 years, and it's been a sell like every time, especially on the handicap side. So I don't do too bad with the handicap side. The scratch side is, up and down. Might average 30 to 40 entries, but yeah, so I've been taking payments and stuff. I only limited it to 90 teams. So I put 3 teams on a pair at Bowlerama. I don't want to have no more than 6 people on the pair. So I just stopped it at 90. I mean, 90's a very good number to have for a doubles tournament. So, but yeah, it's $150 team. I'm accepting deposits. First come, first serve. I got about 10 spots left. So, and we've still got about 7 weeks to go. So, things may change between now and the 7 weeks. Teams may drop out, but I do conduct a waiting list, and if anyone wants to drop out, whatever, I'm always filling the spot back up. Walk-ins are always people that are going to be there to walk in. Especially if they're preparing for battle ball. They're going to be there anyway. So I think it's going to be a successful event. I mean, knock on wood, God willing, Delaware gets into that next phase, and they'll be able to get, their indoor dining, and, Bolorama be able to use extra lanes and stuff. Once they get that approval, to use more lanes than what they using every lane instead of just 30, then it'll be going into the right direction, going in towards battle bowl. Then, we can plan accordingly.
Yeah, 6 weeks. Things die down a little bit. We're able to flatten the curve a lot more up here. Definitely have more curve flattening down in the southeast as well.
Yeah, southeast. I mean, South Carolina and North Carolina, man, we already had a plan to schedule the Southeast Unholy in October, and now hearing with the South Carolina and North Carolina numbers, I don't know. My second thoughts about that, but like I said, we got time. I mean, so the very first official UBA event for the season was going to be the Southeast Unholy. As far as events go up here in the North, that definitely got to be on a month-to-month basis. A team relay. We're not gonna have team rankings this year. Typically, we could start that back in January, but it doesn't look like we're not gonna do a qualifier. I'm talking about like between September and December. Up here in the North, not likely to have any big events like the team relay, last man standing, last woman standing. It's not likely right now, but we just want to take baby steps. So,
sure,
and just play things by ear. Yeah.
No, that's great. It's great to see bowling finally come back into where it should be, and hopefully, as long as everybody follows the rules and there's no craziness, hopefully the states will be able to allow the bowling alleys to reopen, and we'll see less people partying with masks off and more people bowling with masks on.
That's what it is, man. I mean, if they want you to just be there with your mask on, it's not that difficult to do, you know. I mean, take it off to eat, drink, and bowl. But if you're just like spectating, you know, if they allow spectators, whatever. I mean, just follow the rules. Like these videos and stuff, get out to the wrong people, whatever, governor or someone, and you know, that it could just shut us down again. You know, so you want to just kind of just follow the rules, man. Just listen. I mean, and this thing will go away gradually. I mean, I don't see the vaccine, whatever, like right away. But as far as them letting us be able to get somewhat back to a normal life, normal recreation, and normal fun, you know, we can do that if we just all listen. That's all it takes.
No, I completely agree with you, and I think that's a great spot to end this conversation. Tynell, thank you so much again for having us, being able to take some of your time. I know that right now you're incredibly busy with stuff, so thank you so much, especially during this holiday weekend. We
You're
appreciate it.
welcome. Not a problem, Gordon. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, so this is Gordon Pepper, and this has been maybe 45 good minutes with Tynell Tate. That's it. Speak to y'all later. UBA all day.
All right. Yeah.